Pim, udah dipin. Wait Mas, bentar. Ya. Good morning, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan, salam dan bahagia, and best wishes to all of us. We delighted to welcome you to the 6th International Conference on Technology, Education and Science 2024, hosted by the Institute of Research and Community Service, Universitas Sarjana Wiyata Taman Siswa Yogyakarta, Indonesia. It's been a great honor for me, Epsilon 3 Septiarini, to be your Master of Ceremony for this event. So ladies and gentlemen, the main agendas of our events are opening and pray, Sing Indonesia Raya and Taman Siswa Him, remarks, opening speech, photo session, plenary session, question and answer, giving token of appreciation, closing, and parallel discussion. First of all, let's say thanks to God who has given us guidance, healthy, happiness, and mercy so we can attend and participate in this special event without any obstacles. And before we come to the main session, let us start this by praying first so the event that we will hold on this day will run well without any obstacle at all. Pray based on individual belief begins. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to welcome you again to the 6th InCoTES 2024 run by the Institute of the Research, Development and Community Service Universitas Sarjana Wiyata Taman Siswa Yogyakarta, Indonesia. The Institute of Research and Community Service Universitas Sarjana Wiyata Taman Siswa Yogyakarta, Indonesia has nurtured the virtuous culture of collective values and global collaborative researchers. The conference aims to establish opportunities on professional development on research and community services globally captured on its conference theme, Global Partnership in Research and Community Extension Publication. InCoTES is associated to the UST journal and InCoTES proceedings for the papers publications. It is an honor to me to introduce and welcome the guests at our screens and also on site, Professor Dr. Andes Haji Padimin MPD PhD as Director of UST, Mr. Nguyen Tăng Huynh PhD from Dong Nai University, Vietnam, Mr. Mark Gabriel Wagan Aguilar, MBA MSED from Emilio Aguinaldo College, Philippines. Dr. Yuli Prihatni, MPD as the Vice Rector for Academic Affairs of UST. Dr. Kusuma Chandra Kirana, MM as the Vice Rector for Human Research of UST. Dr. Aris Setiawan, SOSI MPD as the Vice Rector from Students Affairs. Dr. Sylvester Goridus Sukur, MPD as the Vice Rector for Partnership Affairs. Dr. Siti Rohmiati, MPD as the Head of the Institute of Research and Community Services, UST. Mrs. Pimrawe Ringwataki from TRU Thailand as a moderator for this event. The Director of Graduate School, all deans, the heads of departments, head of the Institute of the University Development, and head of the Institute of Quality Control. And special for all the 6 InCoTES participants who are attending on-site and on-screen at Universitas Sarjana Wiyata Taman Siswa and also virtually on Zoom and live streaming. For a brief moment, we would like to invite you to sing Indonesia Anthem, Indonesia Raya and Taman Siswa March. Honorable audience, I would like to invite you to stand up. Audience, please be seated. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to listen to the opening remarks from the Committee Chief of the 6th International Conference on Technology, Education and Science. Please welcome Ms. Ima Widyasuti, SSMA TESOL.
Thank you, Ms. Landry. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam dan bahagia. First of all, I would like to thank everybody who has already come to this place, and then the Honorable Rector, and then the Vice Rector 1, 2, 3, and 4 of Universitas Sarjana Wiyata Taman Siswa, the Director of Graduate Schools of Universitas Sarjana Wiyata Taman Siswa, the Dean, and also the Head of Department of Universitas Sarjana Wiyata Taman Siswa. We also like to welcome everybody from UNUGA, right? UNUGA is one of the co-hosts for this conference, and also we would like to welcome friends from Dong Nai Technology University, Vietnam, Emilio Guinaldo College, Philippines, Tepsatri Rajabat University, Thailand, Mid Engineering College Trichy, India, University of Hilir in Nigeria, Kalayan Education Foundation in Philippines, Kalimantan Islamic University, Muhammad Ashi Al-Banjari, Banjarmasin, Indonesia, International College, Naresuan University, Thailand, MDRRMU, Local Government Unit, Philippines, Universitas Sadan Chandra Mahavidyalaya, India, and then last Superior University, Pakistan. This is the record for this conference. There are around 250 participants, 28 in this place as the presenters, on-site presenters, and then around 174 for the online participants, around 28 online presenters. And today we have a lot of scopes for this InCoTES, not only in technology, science, and education. We also have invited several friends who are under the health community services. So we hope that these seminars, not only annual event for meeting with researchers, academia, and other students from other countries, but this event can be the place for us to have the networking for the next year event. Hopefully for next year, we have more research collaboration, more community extensions, collaboration, and mostly for the publication. In the UST, we have around 44 journals. We also have around 30 proceedings, and we welcome all the articles that sent to us. I think that's all, and thank you for everybody, especially my friend Dr. Nguyen and also Mark. Even though this is informal, because I love the informal one. If I mention Mr. Mark, and then he will complain. So Mark and Dr. Nguyen, thank you so much for attending this conference on site. Hopefully next year we can do another things, even though not on site, but we can do other things. Okay, thank you again. Welcome to everybody, and let's enjoy the networking and conference. Thank you. Salam. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
All right, thank you, Ms. Ima. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to listen to the welcome speech delivered by the head of the Institute of Research and Community Service Universitas Sarjana Wiyata Taman Siswa, Dr. Siti Rohmiati, MPD. The time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan, rahayu, good morning, salam dan bahagia. The Honorable Rector of the Universitas Sarjana Wiyata Taman Siswa Yogyakarta, Ki Profesor Haji Pardimin, MPD, PhD, the Vice Rectors 1, 2, 3, 4, complete, thank you, Miss Yuli Prihatni, Miss Chandra Kirana, Mr. Aristiawan, and Mr. Sylvester, thank you. The plenary speakers of the seminar InCoTES, Mr. Nguyen Tan from Vietnam, okay, yes, thank you, Mr. And Mr. Mark Gabriel from Philippines, thank you. Alhamdulillah, we meet you again. Mei ya kemarin ya di Philippines. Yes, okay, Mei ya, Mark ya. Thank you, Mark. And the main moderator, Miss from Thailand. Thank you. Okay. Baik, and the Honorable Director Postgraduate School of UST, Ki Prof. Supriyoko, Deans of UST, Pak Yanto, thank you. Heads of departments of UST, complete. Heads of institute, LPM and LPU, thank you. Kemudian ada heads of units of UST. Ini thank you very much, and the committee super team LP2M, thank you, and all selected presenters and all participants, thank you. Greetings from 6th International Conference on InCoTES, on technology, education, and sciences, InCoTES 2024. The InCoTES is an annual international conference organized by the Institute of Research and Community Services, LP2M, Lembaga Penelitian dan Pengabdian kepada Masyarakat of UST, for supporting the research disseminations and for establishing the international networking. The Institute of Research and Community Services, UST, has a long-standing commitment to research and community services, and the number of research nowadays has increased significantly, and InCoTES provide unique research opportunities in networking and joint research. And this year, alhamdulillah, collaborative research, collaborative publication, community services with us were done in UST. Alhamdulillah. And I really encourage you to build knowledge, share idea, and strengthen your networking in research and community services with us. Ladies and gentlemen, Bapak Ibu yang kami hormati, kalau pada InCoTES pertama sampai dengan kelima, kemarin saya menggunakan bahasa Inggris penuh, izinkan pada tahun ini sesuai dengan amanah Undang-Undang Nomor 24 Tahun 2009 tentang bahasa, bendera, lagu kebangsaan, dan lambang negara, pada pasal 32 ayat 1 disebutkan bahasa Indonesia wajib digunakan pada forum nasional dan internasional di Indonesia. Bahkan pada ayat yang kedua disebutkan bahwa bahasa Indonesia dapat digunakan di luar negeri bila di sana memungkinkan. Oleh karena itu, saya selipi menggunakan bahasa Indonesia agar amanah begitu. Walaupun tadi sudah saya pakai bahasa Inggris, dan Bapak Ibu kami ucapkan selamat Hari Sumpah Pemuda ke-96 28 Oktober 2028. Ada 3 sumpah. Yang pertama adalah 1 tanah air, 1 bangsa, yaitu Indonesia. Tetapi sumpah yang ketiga bukan 1, melainkan menjunjung tinggi bahasa Indonesia. And finally, I would like to invite Mr. Sylvester Syukur, Vice Rector 4, untuk memberikan sambutan sekaligus to open 6th International Conference InCoTES 2024, dan sekaligus memberikan sambutan dua patah kata. Terima kasih Pak Sil. Dan lastly, selamat mengikuti seminar and have a wonderful conference. Akhirul kalam, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam.
Salam.
Matur nuwun.
Thank you Bu Wati, the Honorable Rector, Vice Rectors, Deans of UST, the esteemed speakers of today's event, Mark, Gabriel, Vagan Aguilar, MBA, MSED, Associate Professor from Emilio Aguinaldo College, the Philippines. Welcome, sir, to this conference and to Yogyakarta. And the second speaker is Nguyen Tan Hyun, PhD from Dong Nai Technology University, Vietnam. Pak Nguyen, welcome to Jogja. Sorry if I pronounce your name not in the correct manner. Yeah. Okay. And our moderator today, Prof. Muk, are you there? I wish you could come to Yogyakarta also. But when I see your face online, I'm already happy. Thank you for being the moderator of today's event. And all the co-host institutions for today's international conference. Good morning and salam bahagia. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor and excitement to welcome you all to this international conference. Today's event is a platform for all of us to share our knowledge, because only by sharing the knowledge, information, and all related to education, research, and partnership can be conducted well. This conference serves as a platform for us to share ideas, discuss any new discovery, so that it can help all of us, particularly those who are involving in today's conference, both in person here in this room and those who are attending it online. We do hope that what we are discussing today, what we are sharing today, benefit all of us here in this event. For that, I once again officially welcome you all and open this international conference. Thank you once again. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sil and also Dr. Siti Rahmiati. All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we proceed to the main session, now we will take a photo session. So we would like to ask the participants on Zoom to show your face. Maybe you can turn on your camera, and then our operator will arrange for the photo session. Okay, Mosi, could you help us to take a photo session on the screen? All right. All right, wait a moment. Okay, thank you. And now we would like to invite the participants on site to take a picture together. So Mr. Bimo will arrange us to take a picture. Okay, would like invite the speakers to stand up. And for the first session, we would like to, with audience. Okay, you can move here and then, all right. We would like Mr. Mark, Mr. Nguyen, Bu Ati, Bu Ima, and Dr. Sil to come here. And then the participant, please to just stand up. We will take a picture by here. All right. More closer. Thank you so much for the audience on site. Okay, please. All right, now we are going to the next session we would like invite Dr. Sylvester for giving token appreciation to our speakers today. Maybe committee will help us to provide giving token appreciation to our speakers. Ibu Victa? Yes. Please. All right. All right, Dr. Sil, please come forward with our speakers, Dr. Mark, Mr. Mark, and also Dr. Nguyen. All right, Bu Ati mendampingi. Okay, the first for, okay, the first for Dr. Nguyen. Yes, okay. Look at the camera and then shake hands. Thank you. And for the next, giving to Mr. Mark. Thank you so much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are now continuing our next agenda. That is to hear the speeches which be delivered by Mr. Nguyen Tang Yun, PhD from Dong Nai University, Vietnam, and Mr. Mark Gabriel Wagan Aguilar, MBA, MSED from Emilio Aguinaldi College, Philippines, and also with Mrs. Pim Rawe from Tepsatri, Rajabat University, Thailand, as a moderator for today. Miss Pim Rawe? All
Hello
right.
from Thailand. Yes, I'm
Hi.
here.
Sawadika.
สวัสดีค่ะ
Thank you. All right. Without any further ado, Miss Pim Rawe, the time is yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Um, Selamat pagi, สวัสดีค่ะ, and hello everyone from Thailand. It's nice to see you all here online. First of all, I would like to express my deep gratitude to the Honorable Rector, Vice Rectors of UST, and also the head of the Institute of Research and Community Services for having me as a moderator. I'm so thankful that this special event is hybrid. All right. So, and hello, Dr. Nguyen and Mr. Mark. Um, did I pronounce your name correctly? All right. Okay. Thank you. And hello, brother, Dr. Sylvester and Miss Ima. All right. I think it's time to begin this plenary section. It is my great pleasure to welcome you all to the plenary session of the 6th International Conference on Technology, Education, and Sciences 2024, hosted by the Institute of Research and Community Services, Universitas Sarjana Widyata, Taman Siswa, Indonesia. Please allow me to introduce myself. Thank you for a nice slice. My name is Pimrawi Yurongwatiki. I will be your moderator for this session. I am an assistant professor from the English education program from Tepsatri Rashapat University in Thailand. And my university and UST has been working collaboratively together for several years. And I'm so thankful, and I'm thank you for so much for having me, and I'm thrilled to guide our discussions today. As we embark on this exciting journey over the next hour, I encourage you to engage, ask questions, and share your insights. Together, we can foster meaningful discussions and collaborations that extend beyond this conference. Do you agree? All right, so each speaker will have 30 minutes for their presentation and followed by another 30 minutes for a question and answer session. I believe our speakers are now ready, right? Okay. So today we are honored to have two distinguished plenary speakers, Dr. Nguyen Thanh Nguyen from Vietnam and Assistant Professor Mark Gabriel Wagan Aquila from the Philippines. Now it is my honor to introduce our first speaker, Dr. Nguyen Thanh Nguyen. Dr. Nguyen holds a doctoral degree in shipping and transportation management from the National Coaching University of Science and Technology in Taiwan, and a master degree of economics in agriculture from the Hood College of Economics Academic. He currently serves as the Vice Dean at Dong Nai Technology University in Vietnam. Prior to this role, he worked as a credit staff member at Vietnam Public Joint Stock Commercial Bank. With over 10 years of experience in academia, Dr. Nguyen has published more than 20 articles and has actively participated in numerous national and international conferences. Today, he will be sharing his presentation, which promises to be both enlightening and thought-provoking. Are you ready, Dr. Nguyen? So please join me in welcoming Dr. Nguyen Tan Nguyen to the stage.
Okay, thank you very much. Now it's sit down and so please share my PPT. Hello.
I think it's time for Dr. Nguyen to start his presentation,
And
right?
yeah, yeah, I'm waiting for my PPT.
All right. Can you share? All right. Okay, I can see your screen right now. Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to say thanks UST for hosting this program, and I wanna say thanks for inviting me to come here and speak about this interesting topic. And you can see my name is Nguyen Tấn Huyen and I come from Đông Nai Technology University and I am now a vice dean of the Faculty of Economics and Management. And this morning I'm very pleased to tell you the very interesting topic, joy research. No, no. Yeah, yeah. Um, And this morning, I'm very pleased to tell you the very interesting topic, joint research between two educational and the pathway for innovation and collaboration. And this morning, I'm gonna tell you about six main parts today. And first of all, I want to tell you about the importance of joint research between institutions. Next. Okay, here I have four main points in this session. Number one, I would like to tell you joint research can ensure the enough resource for people to carry out the research, the projects. And in the modern day, research is more complicated and data-driven and interdisciplinary. So this creates the need for collaboration between those schools. And no single university, no matter how advanced it is, will have enough knowledge, expertise, and resource to carry out the research to deal with the problem our world faces today. So when we work together, we can share enough resource for the project. And number two, joint research can have educational institutions work across academic disciplines. So a typical example about this kind of collaboration is the cooperation between computer science and psychological department in developing AI technology for treating human health. And in this case, computer scientists can develop AI algorithm to detect the human health, while psychologists can provide inside knowledge about human cognition, human behavior that AI algorithm can predict data correctly. And this kind of collaboration can help people to develop new technology for human health. And number three, knowledge sharing. And I want to emphasize this idea because we come from different countries and I come here, I share the knowledge for you. You have another idea for the research. And when you work together, we can generate new ideas for innovation. And number 4, joint research can broaden funding impacts, because when people from different countries work together, then the scope of research can be more expanded, make it applicable to various diverse population and adaptable to new environment. And for example, the joint research on renewable energy may not just only benefit developed country, but also benefits developing country. Next. And let's move on to the role of joint research in innovation. And first of all, I would like to tell you joint research is a driver of innovation. You know that in the modern day, innovation is the key to stay competitive and solving the complex problem that the world is facing today. So one of the most powerful mechanisms for driving innovation is joint research. When we work together, we can spark new ideas for innovation. And joint research is forming to long-term innovation ecosystems. So I want to tell you, joint research can establish a long-term partnership between university and industries. And as a result, this kind of partnership can establish a long-term innovation ecosystems for society. And these types of innovations are often translated to practical application through some types of ways. For example, technology transfer, commercialization, and even policy implementation. Next. And now I would like to speak about one of the significant advantages of the joint research: increase funding and resources. And nowadays, many research grants and funding prioritize collaborative projects between multiple institutions. And nowadays, you know the fact that many funding bodies, for example, IMF or World Bank, or even national funding bodies and even private companies, tend to invest in the research projects that related many institutions involved. So by doing so, researchers will have more chance to get more funding than when they do research alone. And number 2, joint research can have larger budgets because of resource sharing. When researchers from different countries work together, they bring with the financial capacity, they bring with the infrastructural equipment, they share knowledge, and also we share resource together. Then when we work together, researchers can get more resource than when they do research alone. Next. So what about the student and faculty benefits from joint research? And now, in my opinion, for students, when they join in the research, students can have more chance to expose to different academic environments. They can work with their international peers and engage in interdisciplinary projects. As a result, students can gain more hands-on experience for their career, and when they work with their international peers, they will have more chance to have more knowledge about their major. So what about faculty members? I would say that when we work on the same project, so faculty members will have more chance to share their best practices, exchange their knowledge, and co-author for research papers also. So we do the project. Then when we finish a paper, so everybody, every member in a project will be a co-author of a research papers. So for students and faculty, these kind of opportunities can foster long-term relationships, and as a result, they can create a future collaboration. We can create a joint teaching programs also. I can come here to teach your student, and I can invite your teacher to come to my school and teach. And even we can form a dual degree offerings. So what do I mean? Dual degree meaning, my school and your school can form a dual degree for, for master or even for a PhD program. So students can spend a half of time in my school, and then they come here to finish the rest, and vice versa. Your student can spend a half time in UST, and then they will move to my school to finish the rest one. So this kind of dual degree is very common in higher education nowadays. Next. So although there are so many benefits for our students and teachers for joint research, there are a few challenges in joint research I would like to address. The number one, communication and coordination. Because we come from different countries, so we speak different languages. So English is, is just a common language we will discuss together. So sometimes we misunderstand something we just talk. So in order to overcome this challenge, I think detailed agreement before research will be necessary. And the next challenge is institutional differences, because every school will have their own policies or administrative process need to be aligned. So when we work together, so the difference in institutional or administration process will be a big challenge. And number three, legal and financial considerations. I think when we finish the project, who own copyright will be, considered. How funding will be allocated among institutions, and how we allocate the profits of the project. And this kind of challenge should be addressed before we carry out the joint project. Next. Okay, now I want to tell you some benefits if UST and DNTU have joint research. In my opinion, I just specify at least 4 benefits. Number one, cultural and academic exchange. And we work together in one project. We can build a networking opportunity. We can foster cross-cultural learning between two schools. And number two, we can have a more chance to access to diverse resources and expertise. When we work together, when we form a new project, so my school will provide a part of funding for the projects, and USC can offer a part of them. So by doing so, researcher will have more chance to getting more funding than when they do research alone. And number three, global recognition for joint research. I mean, for example, in my school nowadays, we are conducting the policy, internationalization policy. So we pay much attention to global recognition. And if we do research together, we will develop foster global recognition for the UST and the NGO. So if we do this thing well, we will have more time to attract students to come here to study, and we can attract more researchers from all over the world to come to school for cooperation. And I think global recognition is the most important for higher education nowadays. And number four, I would like to emphasize the last one, student and faculty mobility. So when we do research together, it's not just research, but also for exchange programs. We can build research capacity between those schools, and we can, develop joint teaching policy between those schools. I mean, I will invite some teachers from here to Vietnam to teach, and vice versa. Your school will invite my teacher from my school to come here to teach, and I think joint teaching is, a very advantageous for beside teaching, beside research. Next, and now I would like to tell you some conclusion from my presentation this morning. So I want to tell you, joint research is not just a partnership between two schools. It's also a way for innovation. It's also a great way for academic growth and societal progress. And joint research is also a driver of innovation, because by working together, we can create new ideas for the academic community and for the society as a whole. And by doing research together, we can establish interdisciplinary bridges. And more importantly, joint research can provide a lot of benefits for students and for teachers involved. And this part brings to the end of my presentation today. Thank you so much for your time and for your attention. And here, I highly encourage all of us here will find out the partnership and find out the possibility of joint teaching and joint research together. Thank you so much again.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nguyen, for your insightful and thought-provoking presentation. Your insights on joint project between two educational institutions really set the stage for our discussions today. As I mentioned earlier, everyone, we have 30 minutes for a Q&A session after Dr. Mark presentation. So if you have any question, could you please hold it until the time? All right. Thank you once again, Dr. Yan. Now I'm excited to introduce our next speaker, Mr. Mark Gabriel Wagan Aguilar from Emilio Aguinaldo College in the Philippines. Mr. Mark Gabriel Wagan Aguilar, he's an assistant professor for, he's now working on his doctoral degree in education and public administration, and he holds two master's degrees, one in science in education and the other one in business administration. He received 13 awards in research, including Best Research Paper Awards, Best Research Presentation Awards, as well as Research Excellence Awards. Also, he presented at more than 50 academic conferences across the world. For example, in Indonesia, of course, in Hungary, in United Kingdom, in Australia, United States of America, in Thailand, just to name a few. And it's all fully funded. Also, he published so far 17 research articles in index international research journals published by various universities across the continents. and is also fully funded. And today he will be delivering a presentation that it is sure to be both insightful and engaging. Please join me in welcoming Assistant Professor Mark Gabriel Wagan Aguilar to the stage. Mr. Mark, are you ready?
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
Am I audible? Can you hear me well? Okay,
Yes, sir, but I cannot see your PowerPoint yet.
okay. I
It's
think we
still
have to.
Dr. Nguyen's last slide on the screen. What I can see on the screen now is the last slide say thank you from Dr. Nguyen. All right, here you go. Yes, your first slide is
It's
on
there
the screen
already?
now.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you very much, Ibu Pimwari, for that very humbling introduction. Greetings of peace and prosperity to all delegates and presenters at this prestigious conference. I would also like to particularly extend my gratitude to the organizing committee for inviting me once again, and please accept my congratulations for the perceived success of this event. This is actually not my first time to be here at UST. I was here last year for some kind of partnership purposes, and this is the sixth research conference that UST have organized that I attended. Um, I was a presenter at the fourth and fifth InCoTES. I also attended the InCo TPE. I don't know if you can still remember that. I was part of the Dewantara conference on multidisciplinary, and I also attended the international conference on indigenous psychology and culture. Uh, all was held last year. So over the years, I have established a strong relationship with UST. In fact, I am friends with many of your colleagues. Ima, Epsilandri, my brother, Dr. Sukur, Ibu Nonik, Ibu Lucia, Dr. City, of course, and Bu Didi. I even collaborated in research with some UST lecturers, particularly Ibu Victa and Bu Harto Sujono from the psychology department. Uh, and I believe our research articles are now published, two of which are in Sinta 2. So these are, I think Sinta 2 is already considered high, right? Yeah. So I already started working with your colleagues, and I'm very excited to be working more with your other colleagues. So with that, I would like to start my talk today by saying that I will continue working with UST and maintain the strong partnership that we have established over the last years. And I am also open to any kind of collaboration with educators and researchers from other universities. Okay, before I begin, please hear me out. Please, my friends, lend me your ears. Lend me for the next 30 minutes because I'm very confident that this presentation will not just help the university but will be beneficial to all of us. So please, I appeal to all of you, lend me your ears for the next 30 minutes. Anyways, just a small time for the entire day, right? Okay. So on this note, let me proceed with my topic for today. I have decided to talk about international academic partnership, which is very relevant to your team. But please bear with me. I will try my best to give you valuable insights on how you can effectively and efficiently build partnerships with other academic institutions
particularly focus on those outside your country. Okay, so let us begin by talking about why international partnership is important. Next slide, please. Okay, it boils down with globalization. Have you heard about this before? I guess so. It is noticeable that the current direction of higher education institutions all around the world is really globalization. According to numerous studies, since the early 2000s, all institutions of higher education, private and public, are rapidly evolving into global actors. And this is because a trend found in many industries. The goal now is to become globally competitive as more and more graduates aim to pursue a career outside their countries. I don't know if that's a trend in Indonesia, but it's common in the Philippines, in Vietnam, in Thailand, and most developing countries around the world. Additionally, globalization has become a trend in universities because of the use of global rankings or international recognitions that has been set by governments and by the people as indicators of the quality of a higher education institution. That is now the trend right now. To be considered as a competitive university, you have to be ranked in global ranking platforms such as QS, World Rankings, Times Higher Education, WURI, among many others. So I want everybody to understand that the playing field is no longer within your country. It's not domestic anymore. It's not Indonesia anymore. It is not at the national level anymore. It has now become global. And you cannot achieve these things, you cannot achieve globalization if you don't adopt the best practices from other universities around the world, which can only be done through partnerships. Okay, next slide. Okay, everybody, are you familiar with this image? Are you seeing it? Okay, there you go. Are you familiar with this image? I would
Yes.
assume yes. Okay. Okay. One of the programs established to achieve globalization is the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, also known as the UNSDGs, right? Which is also one of the reasons why partnerships are very significant. Being higher education institutions in countries that are members with the United Nations, we have a mandate to act on these SDGs. However, there is a misconception. There is an impression that universities only have to focus on SDG 4, which is about quality education, right? That's the misconception. That being academic institutions, we only have to focus on SDG 4. However, that is not true, my friends. That is really not true. In fact, we also need to act on the other SDGs. And this is exactly why we have research and community extension programs. So, even universities are tasked to conduct programs that would address zero hunger, good health and well-being, reduce inequalities, and climate change, among many others. So going back to the partnership, there is actually one SDG that most of us ignore. Can we go to the next slide, please? Goal 17. Okay? Right now, I want us to focus on Goal 17, which is partnership for the goals. And although it is usually ignored, specifically by maybe not all, but most higher education institutions, the United Nations have expressed that this could be the most important SDG. Why? Because this goal does not just call for action, but it calls for collective action. In the academic setting, this particular goal wants us to understand that no single university can address all the SDGs, especially that no university is perfect. We have our own strengths, we have our own weaknesses. Each has their own direction, each has their own priorities. And this is the exact reason why partnership is a must. Universities, as mentioned by Dr. Nguyen a while ago, universities need to come together so we can help each other in addressing these SDGs and making a real world impact, not just community impact, but a real world impact. And I want you to emphasize on the term real, not just any assumed impact. Okay, so now that we have established why international partnership is important, let us proceed to talk about the process of finding your potential partners. Okay, but after that, making it work. Because it's not all about finding partners. It's not all about being able to establish that partnership, but the process includes making sure that the partnership will really be beneficial and and something that will really work. Okay, next slide. Okay, but before I talk about the specific things to consider in partnership, let me share to you a very important observation over the years. Maybe this is an unpopular opinion, but it is not true that you can just partner with anyone. It's not true that you can just partner with any university that you've found in the internet. You must make sure that it will work for the benefit of the two of you. In fact, I know so many people, so many partnership directors, so many heads for partnership around the world who just message people from random universities and just express their intention to partner without assessing or evaluating the institution, their institution, and the future of the possible partnership. That is not the right way to do it. If you do that, your initiative to establish partnership is bound to fail. Additionally, please take note that there is no academic institution with genuine intention that will partner with any other institution. Institutions that partner with anybody are likely to have a hidden agenda in favor of them. For instance, business-oriented partnership or money-making over genuine research or community program collaboration. I must say that UST is the best example of a genuine partner because when you co-organize events with UST, they don't make you pay. And believe me or not all universities do that. Other universities makes other institutions pay to participate in their activities regardless of the partnership they have with those universities, which is really absurd, I believe. You will realize that these universities will exploit you because what they're doing is not partnership. They look at you or their partners as a business prospect. For instance, to be specific, there is a university in Thailand. I'm not going to mention the name of the university, but definitely not our partner university, not TRU. Yeah. So this university is partnered with a lot of universities in the Philippines, and then when they organize research conferences, all their co-hosts, which are their partners, are required to pay a fee to co-organize the event, even though it will just take the logo being put in the tarpaulin or in the banner. And you will ask yourself, why do we have to pay? We are your partner. We are partners. We should be helping each other. You should not be earning from us, right? That is not genuine partnership. But there are universities who act like that. And that particular university, let me just share, they charge as much as 100,000 Philippine pesos, which is roughly 27 million Indonesian rupiah, just for them to co-host the event. And it's totally opposite here in UST. So I'm sharing this to all of you so that you can avoid this kind of partnership, because these are not what we consider as genuine partners or genuine collaborations. So this is also applicable to the researchers. The next time that you meet someone who would like to collaborate with you, but you have to pay so that you could be co-author in their papers, avoid that, because there are genuine partnership. Do not focus on those easy ones where you need to pay money. Okay? So anyway, let us now continue by talking about how we can effectively establish partnerships with other universities. I'm going to give you some pointers. Next slide, please. Okay, so first, the very first step is you need to evaluate your institution. I'm going to use institution from this moment because institution includes colleges, technical institutes, and universities. Because when we say about academic partnership, it does not limit to universities, right? So let me use the word institution. So the first step in entering a partnership with another academic institution is to conduct an assessment on your institution. Let's say you are from UST and you want to partner with another researcher or educator or lecturer from another university. First, you must assess your institution. First, you must assess what you have here in UST, so that you would know what your institution is capable of. You must be able to determine the strengths and weaknesses of your institution. And why is this important? This is very important because, for instance, if your institution doesn't have any strength, let's say it's based on your objective analysis, it's all weaknesses, you're weak in all aspects, then no institution will be interested in partnering with you because you cannot bring something to the table. Okay? So you must know what you can offer, what you have, to make sure that you are attractive enough for any kind of collaboration. That's very important. And I do believe that all institutions have their own strength. Okay? Do not ever think that, oh, my institution is not good, we cannot offer anything. You won't be a university if that's the case. Okay. However, I have a reminder to all of us. When we offer our strengths to other universities, it should not just be a claim. It shouldn't be an assumption just because we are biased in favor of our institution. It should be supported by indicators. For instance, you cannot say that your university is good in research or the strength of your university is research if your faculty members do not have several publications in reputable journals and are not actively presenting in conferences. Not just conferences organized by UST, but conferences organized by other universities, particularly international ones. You cannot say that your institution's strength is community extension if you only have one community extension program in the last 3 years. So you have to have plenty of it. As a matter of fact, my recommendation, each study program should have their own community extension program to show to your potential partners that you are really good in that particular area. You cannot say that you are good in terms of faculty instruction, doing lectures, if most of your faculty members, most of your lecturers, do not have even a master's degree. If they are not exposed to trainings regularly, if they haven't received awards from the government and from the university. So your strengths should be supported by indicators which should be measurable. You cannot just assume that you're good in this just because of our egos. Okay, next slide, please. The second thing that you must do is to evaluate other institutions, especially those that you are looking at as potential partners. So aside from assessing your institution, you must also conduct an evaluation or an evaluation or assessment of every potential university or partner university for your university. It is important that you know their strengths, and aside from their strengths, the areas where they are struggling, including their current priorities. Now, the reason behind that is because you want to know how your institution and other institutions' capabilities can complement with each other. Like for instance, if you found out that your institution is good in research and your potential partner university is not that good in research, then for sure your abilities can complement because your university can help the other university's research program. Then you found out that you are a little bit weak when it comes to community extension. You haven't received any funds yet, or maybe compared to other universities in your country, you are really lacking of community extension programs. And then you found out that this university in Vietnam is number one when it comes to community extension program impact in their country. So that's one way to tell, oh, our abilities can complement. I could help them in terms of research. They can help us in terms of community extension program. So that's really the purpose of that. That's why it's really needed that you assess other potential institutions as well. Not just because you want to know where they're good at, but you want to know how your strength and weaknesses can complement with each other. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, third, after you're able to conduct these evaluations, the next step is to conduct a pilot project. In fact, this can also be a part of the evaluation process because the best way to evaluate the potential partnership is doing a pilot project in collaboration with each other. Sometimes it's very hard to evaluate other institutions without doing a project with them first, because you really cannot tell how they perform and how they do in terms of certain areas. Contrary to what many people think, having a memorandum of agreement or MOA or memorandum of understanding first prior to conducting a project, it's not really needed for a pilot project. Sometimes we think that, oh, we cannot do a pilot project with them because we are not yet partners. No. The intention of doing a pilot project is to gain the trust of each other. How would you know if that university is really good, for instance, in research, if you haven't worked a single research project with them? How would you know how they do community extension programs if you haven't engaged with them yet? So it's not always agreement first. It's not always like that. If you're talking about, well, if we did a research project or a a community extension project with the other university without an agreement, then the government in our country won't recognize that project because there's no existing partnership. Yes, I do agree, but that is not the intention of the pilot project. The intention is to connect first, to build the relationship first. So it's not always agreement first, then you do the project. Sometimes it's necessary to do a project first so that you can gain the trust of one another. Okay? Next slide, please. Okay. This slide is very, very important. And this is connected with the last slide. So in addition to the pilot project thing, let me share with you a secret that I have learned over the years of being an educator and researcher who have catalyzed international partnership. Based on my experience, being someone who have worked with researchers and educators from 6 continents of the world, international partnership is not done through a top-down approach. Meaning to say, it doesn't start from the top management. It doesn't start with the president or your rector. In fact, productive and efficient partnerships between and among academic institutions happen following a bottom up approach. So meaning to say, it starts with middle management employees like your deans, directors, head of departments, the faculty or the lecturers, and down to your staff. With this in mind, academic institutions should really empower their employees. For instance, they should send their lecturers to attend conferences. They should let their lecturers collaborate with other lecturers from other universities. I mean, it's not even, I think it's also possible to really require your faculty members to, when they decide to do a research, it's already a requirement that one author should be from another university. Depends on your policy, but I think that is really the direction that we are going to. If their lecturers are invited to speak in conferences outside the country, then academic institutions should grant that engagement. And the reason for that is because if your lecturers, your researchers go to other universities, especially outside Indonesia, they are representing your institution. And if they are good, if these researchers were able to travel to represent your institution good, then when they come back, for sure, they could bring a potential partner institution to your institution. So it's the lecturers that builds an image to the institution. It's not really the top management. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so this is another thing to do when entering a partnership with another university. So after you have conducted a pilot project, it's now time to determine areas of collaboration. In UST, I think you have 4 primary areas of collaboration, which are on the screen right now: instruction, community extension, research, and cultural exchange, because of the Taman Siswa principle, right? But in most countries, we just focus on 3. Okay. Now, however, it is wrong to think that when you partner with another university or institution, this should be automatically your areas of collaboration, that this 4 or this 3. It is not automatic. I know that this is a common doing, that we usually do it. It's automatic, we collaborate on the 3. But remember, we did assess. The first step is to assess your university and assess their university. What if you are both weak in research you cannot collaborate in research. You will just, pull down each other. So, based on your strength and weaknesses, you explore the areas of collaboration. If also you're both good in research, I believe that it's not recommended to work on research anymore. Choose a university that you can help in the area of research, and then choose a university that can help you in the areas where you are struggling. So it's not automatic. You must really sit down with each department heads to know where you can collaborate. It's not automatic that you need to collaborate in four. Okay? Next slide, please. All right. Next to exploring the areas of collaboration is determining the end goals of the partnership. And I believe that this is um, a factor that most partnership does not um, consider. They always think areas of collaboration is enough, but I do believe to make sure that the partnership will work, you must also set an end goal. Why are we doing this partnership? For what? What do we want to accomplish by the time the partnership ends? Because partnerships are not forever. We have a timeline. For instance, the partnership between Emilio Aguinaldo College and UST is only for 3 years. So after 3 years, what should we see? That's what I mean. Okay, and this is also important because you want to evaluate the partnership after 3 years. It's wrong to think that partnerships should be automatically renewed. Okay, there are partnerships that should be ended, especially if it did not benefit both institutions or it only benefited one institution for the entirety of the 3 years. So you have to sit down again and determine what's the purpose of the partnership, what do we want to see, what do we want to accomplish by the end of it. For instance, how many research do we want to accomplish in the next 3 years? Do you want 20 research projects? Okay. So that we have something to look at after 3 years. If you did not attain the 20, it means there's something wrong with the partnership. It did not work unless it was not intentional. But if your partner is not really collaborating, the collaboration ended upon the signing of the MOU or MOA, then it's better to end the partnership because it's not working. So you have to determine the end goal. Anyway, whenever we do policy, whenever we do any kind of decision, we always ask ourselves, what are we looking for? Why are we doing this? Right? What is our target? So that is what I'm trying to say. Okay? And then next slide, please. This will be my second to the last slide. I'm about to finish, my friends. Okay. I already mentioned that we set end goals so that we can monitor and evaluate the partnership, right? Speaking of monitoring and evaluating the partnership, this is the last in my list things to consider when engaging international partnership. Okay, it is important that universities monitor and evaluate the partnership they have by reflecting on their accomplishments in collaboration with their partners. And it is very important that you meet the end goals to say that the partnership worked. So if you did not meet the end goals based on how you've monitored over the years, it's not working. And when I say monitoring, it's actually throughout the partnership process. Evaluation and monitoring are two different things. When you say evaluation, it happens at the end of the partnership. When you say monitoring, you do it regularly. For instance, let me go back to my example earlier. The end goal is to have 20 research publications together. together. On the first year, monitor what you have accomplished. Because if the promise is 20, then each year, for the entirety of 3 years, you need to accomplish around 7 research publications. So let's say at the first year, you only achieve 2 research publications. At the second year, you only achieve 1 research publication. So prior to the last year of the partnership, you know already that you will not achieve the end goal of the partnership. And through that monitoring process, you would be able to recalibrate your strategies so that by the end year, you would be able to catch up with the number that's lacking in your end goal to publish 20 research articles. So that is what I mean. Um, it's not just evaluation at the end of the partnership, but also monitoring to make sure that you are able to meet your end goals. UST have a lot of partners, so this is really something that you have to consider, so that we won't waste time anymore in partnering with useless partners. We won't waste time anymore in establishing partnership that are not beneficial to us. Next slide, please. Okay, so this is my last slide. I hope I was able to share information that made you more knowledgeable towards partnership among higher education institutions. And I'm hoping to see more collaborative research, projects, and activities between UST, administrators, and lecturers from other universities. That is really the direction. That is where we need to focus. Once again, thank you very much for inviting me in this prestigious conference. I hope to see you again next year, the next year after, and the several years to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Assistant Professor Mark Gabriel Wagan Aguila, for sharing your expertise with us. Your perspective on international partnership among higher education institutions, providing valuable context and challenge us to think critically about, how to seek and develop partnerships with other institutions. Thank you so much. All right, I think it's now time for Q&A section. I would like to open the floor for any questions related to Dr. Mark's and Dr. Yan's presentations. If anyone has a question, please join us by turning your mic or just leave your questions in the chat box. Does anyone has any questions? No? Ajahn Pontep, do you have any questions? Hi, hello friends from Indonesia, from Nigeria, from the Philippines.
Yeah, if no one want to have a question, I would like to ask Dr. Mark a very interesting question. So in your presentation, you mentioned about 2 types of partnership. One top-down approach, and another one is down to top, right? So you argue that top-down approach is not very good for partnership, right? And I totally agree with you about that idea. Yeah. So can you tell me, more detail about that idea? Why top to down is not a good idea for a partnership?
So to start the Q&A, we will be asking each other first. Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Nguyen, for that question. Okay. Let's have a common sense here. If it will be a top-down approach, the partnership, the relationship will start from the president or from the vice rectors, right? So what will happen if that's the case is that you sign the MOU, MOA, and only the top management know each other. The lecturers will only get to know one another after the agreement. Now, what if uh, after the signing of agreements, the lecturers did not, understand each other. There has been major cultural barriers, so there is a risk that the partnership won't work because when you sign the agreement, your people doesn't know each other yet. Now, if it starts from the bottom, like before signing the MOU or MOA, your lecturers have already collaborated with research. Um, yeah, just lecturers. We're not even talking about departments. We're not even talking about study programs. Uh, lecturers, if they have already started doing some projects together, if if some departments have already started doing some community extension projects together prior to the signing of agreements, then after signing of agreements, then the partnership will just continue. It's no longer the beginning of the collaboration because collaboration has already started informally. So it has a higher chance to be effective and efficient. That's why I was telling that most partnership that follows or that started from the bottom up are more productive and are more efficient because people already know each other prior to signing the MOU. I hope I was able to answer the question, Dr. Nguyen.
Yeah, I totally agree that. I expect your explanation.
Thank you so much for Dr. Nguyen for your question and Mr. Mark for a clear response. Does anyone has any other questions? Please don't be shy. You can turn your mic or you can leave your questions in the chat box.
I think I can ask a question to Dr. Nguyen, if that's okay. Yeah.
Yes, of course.
To
Go ahead.
pump each other's interest. Don't be shy. I think cultural barrier or language differences, it should not be a barrier, no, for us to communicate. Grammar is not that important as long as we are able to understand each other. Most especially accent. Don't forget about the accent. It doesn't matter. So please ask questions to us if you want to ask. But before that, I would like to ask something to Dr. Nguyen. You mentioned about challenges in doing joint partnership, and one of the common challenges is like what I've said, uh, cultural barrier and language barrier. Many Indonesian lecturers do not want to collaborate with researchers from other countries because they are afraid that they won't be able to understand each other and um, uh, they don't want to be, I don't know the right term, but bullied or discriminated because they cannot really speak fluently in English. So how do you think universities can address that challenge so that we can ensure that collaborations between other nationalities could really happen?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Thank you very much. It's very, very good question. I just tell you because we come from different countries, so English is not our native language, right? So sometimes when we discuss something, we misunderstand. We feel, hard, difficult to connect each other in English. For example, in my faculty, the number of teachers can speak English is very few. Just a few teachers can speak English. So when we have a same project to do together. So I think not many people are willing to join in that kind of project, especially with a foreigner. So far, let me honest, I am now supervising 2 PhD in Taiwan. So right now, but I, very less teacher in my school want to join with me because they feel ashamed about their English level, so they don't want to join with us. So how to overcome this challenge? I think we need to improve your English level first, because without English we cannot communicate. We cannot, do anything about research. Because for research we use English all the time, right? We write in English, we publish in English, we discuss anything in English. So if we want to overcome this challenge, we will assign someone who can use English for the same project. Yeah, and I think it is the most important thing we need to address first. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your insights. I do agree that language and culture should not be barriers for us to build partnership, right? And we do need to overcome those fear or those obstacles. Yes. I think Mr. Jamil Sulaiman has a question, right? Please, Dr. Jamil. I saw you raise your hand on the screen. Do you have a question? Could you please turn your mic on? You were muted. Can you turn your mic on? Um,
But nice, very active.
on your screen, you should see 3 dots on the top right corner. Click there and um, can someone help him?
Okay,
Yes,
thank you
yes.
very much. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Mark, for the wonderful presentations. Um, some of us come from we practice in some institution that may not be on global pace of research. University of Ilorin is my academic institution. Then I also come from a teachers college where they also collaborate and network. Now my point is about probably we could some host institution if they could allow individual lecturer participation before institutional collaboration. Like it is the particular lecturer that saw a particular scholar, a particular publication or journal that I want to network with. So I'm saying if sometimes we could access MOU with individual lecturers or facilitator, I believe that will help us have more grounds. Now we'll be able to understand the partnering universities, be able to understand their mode of operation. That will give us more knowledge and vast to be able to get approval from our host university. At least I've tested, I've networked, I've collaborated. I believe that could also, I'm only laying a ground that could allow individual lecturers also be able to independently in their department collaborate and sign MOU before taking it to the big world of the university. That would make us be able to start and encourage early career researchers that have not gotten to some peak of careers at that level. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jamyu. Did I mention your name correctly? Sorry if I did not. Jamyu, yeah, from Nigeria. Am I correct? Yeah, okay. Thank you very much for being here, and I think I know you since the third InCoTES. So, okay, um, yeah. Sometimes that's really the challenge. Um, there are universities with policies that do not allow lecturers to collaborate with other lecturers from other universities without the formal agreement between their two institutions. That's actually a challenge. And I must say that each university has their own policy on that. Okay? And this is the bottom-up approach, as I mentioned earlier, is something that many higher education institutions are yet to realize. They have not realized it yet, that should be the way how to do it. Um, Perhaps you can personally connect first with lecturers from other universities. For instance, I don't think that there are legal grounds when you collaborate with a lecturer from another university in doing a independent research, like something that the university does not have to fund. For instance, you and me, we become friends and we decided to do research together. Now the question is, who will fund that research? We decided to fund it using our own money. So it means that the university we are employed at has nothing to do with that research. But of course, when we publish it, we carry the name of our universities. So how can we convince our university to allow that? Because they have not bared any responsibility in the publication of the research paper. They did not even fund it. There were no responsibilities in the process, but they benefited from it when it got published, provided that we are from our universities. So if we're able to explain how it benefits, how our direct partnership could benefit their accreditation, their ranking, because we carried the name in the publication without the university spending on our research. I think that is one way to fully convince your president, the top management of university to allow this kind of engagement. But again, it would still boil down to the kind of policy your institution have. I hope I was able to answer the question, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mark, and thank you, Mr. Jamil, for your question. Does anyone has any questions? Please feel free to turn your mic or leave your question in the chat box.
Excuse
Oh.
me. Hi, Miss Mook.
Yes.
I just want to invite Mark and also Mr. Nguyen. Maybe you can invite some students on the right, on the left side, and on the right side, there's one of partner from UST. They are from Unuga. Unuga, right? Yeah. So maybe friends from Unuga wants to ask something or build up new collaboration with Mark and Nguyen.
I hope that.
Okay.
It's my expectation.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, yes, please from Unuga if you want to comment something. Go ahead. And students from here, even though you're students, but you have any bravery to be the presenter for today's seminar. Congratulations.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity of to ask something about the matter detail. Mr. Marx, that this is the topic is very interesting about the building a partnership with other country, but we have some little problem that make us confused. That the activity or the action uh, of the collaboration, that the problem is in our country, the MOU is still the document that there is no the note the date of the date that the signing in must be MOU first, then the activity. Is that okay if the date is or the type before the activity? Thank you.
Usually, first, thank you for asking the question from Unuga Chilacap. Okay, Chilachap. Chilachap. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Um, Usually, universities have two kinds of documents regarding partnership. First, you have the memorandum of understanding, and then after you have signed that memorandum of agreement or implementation of the agreement. Okay. Um, there are instances I have observed between or among universities that they have considered signing both at the same time. And this could happen, again, like what I've said, this could happen if we follow the bottom up. Meaning to say, both universities already trust one another. Okay? It only happens that the president or the rector do not want to go with the implementation immediately, that they require first MOU because they haven't built a relationship with the other university. But for sure, if they have been collaboration first, then we won't be skeptical anymore, because we know that we know the capabilities of this university. That we know that this university, their lecturers can help us in certain ways. So I think we can already sign both. Okay, but again, the policy of the institution. Um, but there's always a time for change. No? So I think, are you a department head, a director, a dean? Maybe you can start suggesting this new policy and making your top management realize that in order for us to internationalize well, we really have to start building relationship first by doing pilot projects before signing MOU. And that is exactly the reason why many universities have failed to internationalize until now. Many universities, many academic institutions do not have any partner yet because they think that the formal signing should come first. But how can other universities sign with you if they don't know you yet? You see? And let me share to you my experience with UST. In UST, before we signed MOA, I've been friends, I've been collaborative with them in the past 4 years already. We just signed last year. And it was not difficult because we are friends already. They know my capabilities, I know their capabilities, so the signing went smoothly. So I suggest you apply the same principle in UNUGA, and that way you'd make internationalization more easy. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Mark, for your answer. Now I think Mr. Jamil has a question again. Go ahead, Mr. Jamil.
Okay, Mr. Mark, thank you very much. Another areas I think that globally that is not being paid more attention to is the area of teaching collaboration, exchange online. I think we are gradually developing more on research collaborations. Yes, many schools now engage in research collaborations. We now write paper together. Even some journals encourage having different authors from different universities. Yes. But another area that I think that the developed world are trending more is in the area of teaching collaborations. We don't have to physically travel from one university to another. Thank God for the advent of uh, technology innovations. So I believe if that areas can also be given more attention to, we could learn more. For example, teaching psychology in Africa could be more advanced than another continent, while teaching philosophy in another continent could be more advanced in another continent. So I think if you can also dwell more on teaching collaboration, not only emphasizing on research collaboration. Research collaboration is quite shooting up, exchanging well, but more developed university now do more of I think teaching collaborations. I think if that also can be given more attention, that could also help us learn globally and also benefit from inter-countries experience. That's some observations. Yeah.
I totally agree. However, I must say that research is really the core of international partnership. It's the core. And let me tell you why. Many universities struggle in research. In instruction, faculty instruction, we this is what I observed. Many universities takes pride. They will always say that we offer quality instruction because we have qualified lecturers. But research, it's a trend or it's a pattern that I've noticed among universities that it is the area where they most struggle at. Okay, so I do believe that there's a reason why many universities focus first on research collaboration. Okay, now, but regarding the 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 the, the idea of prioritizing uh, faculty exchange programs, student exchange programs, sharing curriculum development, I think I have to give this to Dr. Nguyen because this is, I think, his specialty, right? Because really my specialty is research, so I really focus on collaborative research projects. But when we talk about exchange programs of faculty, students, sharing curriculum, uh, faculty going to other universities to teach, I have don't much to say about that. Perhaps Dr. Nguyen can share his experiences.
Okay. Thank you very much for your question. Nowadays, my school is applying the policy we say internationalization policy. So in doing so, we not just encourage try research, but also try teaching with other countries in the world. And I want to tell you, in December, my faculty will invite two professors in one in Taiwan and one in Malaysia come to my school to teach for 2 weeks. And let me honest, for my school, we pay much attention not just for research, but for teaching collaboration. So if you want to go to my school for teaching, I will invite you to come here. And but the condition is you have to stay in my school at least 2 weeks. If you can stay in my school for 14 days, I think I am considering to invite you maybe next year. Next year, yeah. And when you come here, you just teach for 60 hours or maybe 30 hours, and you just speak a one seminar for my faculty members and my students. Just enough. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nguyen and Mr. Mark. And congratulations, Mr. Jamir. You got great opportunity offer
Oh yeah.
from Dr. Nguyen. All right, everyone, do you have any other questions? Don't be shy. Students, you can ask any question too.
Students, you want to ask? Pretend that they don't want to.
I would like to share to all of you that for you to be fluent in English, you must speak in English, not just reading. So
Yes, that's-
practice makes perfect.
Absolutely.
And yeah, say something or share something. I'm not an American. I'm not an English person. I'm just a Filipino. We're all Southeast Asians here, so we have the same dilemma in learning the language.
When I was your age, I normally try.
I think we have almost 30 minutes left for Q&A question. Do you have any other questions?
Yeah, one more from Cesar, maybe. Okay, go on,
Okay.
Cesar.
Good morning, everyone. Okay, I'm Sesa. I have a question for you. Actually, my question is very simple. My question is there any possibility to have us go to your campus? That's it. Thank you.
You mean, can you repeat your question? Can you repeat again?
Okay. My question is there any possibility to have us go to your campus?
Come to my campus. Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah, I expect about that. You know, nowadays, I come here not just for cultural exchange, but also for attract some students from UST to my school. Now, if you want to come to my campus, we will pay for you flight ticket. Yeah, we will pay for you accommodation. We will pay for you meals. We will pay for you stipend for 14 days in my campus. Yeah, yeah. If you want to go, please, come here to meet me after the conference. Yeah, it's my expectation. 2 weeks. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you can, definitely. If you can teach in English, you are welcome to my school. And in December, I invite 2 professors, one from Taiwan and one from Malaysia, to come to my faculty and teach for master students for 14 days, 2 weeks. Yeah, and I will pay for them everything.
That is wonderful to hear. I'm glad for UST students.
Oh yeah.
Does anyone has any questions? Please feel free to turn your mic on or leave your message or questions in the chat box. No, no questions. So I think I should end this session. Is that okay? All right, so we have come to the end of this plenary session. On behalf of the organization team, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Nguyen and Mr. Mark again for your outstanding contributions to this wonderful conference. We greatly appreciate the time and effort you invested in preparing your presentations. I believe that your expertise and passion made a significant impact on all attendees. We hope to see you at future events. Thank you everyone for attending this wonderful section. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference day. Terima kasih. Sawadee ka. Thank you so much again for having me too. Thank you. Have a good day, everyone.
All right, once again, please give applause to our speakers and also moderator, Miss Pim from Thailand. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are currently approaching to the end on the 6th InCoTES 2024. And now we are going to the parallel session. Please enjoy the discussion on your Zoom meeting room. And please be note and check your own room and prepare the material for the discussion. For your information, after you are joining in the Zoom meeting, you don't need to go back in the Zoom main Zoom room, because when you are joined in the each room, I mean in the breakout room, you will be guided by your master of ceremony and also with your moderator, as well as closing the parallel session event. Before I end, I once again would like to inform you the following matters. The parallel session is organized into 8 Zoom meeting rooms with 3 until 4 papers presented at most, depends on each rooms. And the operator will group the participant based on the participant's number, and the parallel session rules will be informed by the parallel moderators and master of ceremony. For further information, please read the 6th InCoTES handbook, share on your chat room or on your WhatsApp room, WhatsApp group, I mean, and as the name of the presenters listed on the handbook. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now we are reached to the end of the first session of the InCoTES 2024. Please have a moment of silence. Thank you. Once again, thank you so much for joining the 6th InCoTES 2024. Even though it is done by hybrid mode, it doesn't make our spirit decrease. As a master of ceremony, I say thanks to all speakers, moderators, leaders of UST as a committee, all presenters and participants. May we had conducted will be useful for us. I am Epsilandre. I'm sorry for some mistakes. Please enjoy your next parallel sessions, and we are looking forward to seeing you again on the 7th InCoTES on 2025. Good morning from Indonesia. Salam dan bahagia. Keep healthy and happy.